Trojan family, what's up, man? What's up? Happy Wednesday to everybody, man. How's everybody doing? Listen, I hope everybody's doing well. Listen, USC J had to do a little bit of digging, man. USC J once again is on the case, and you see the title. The title is, USC has the best receiving core in the country, hands down. USC has the best receiver core in the country. Now, what caused USC J to do this digging today, man? What caused me to do this digging, man? You guys make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and share it everywhere. Share it everywhere. Tell everybody about this channel, especially if you're a USC fan, if you're a college football fan, but if you're a USC fan, you listen, USC J is going to bat for you. USC J is going to bat for you. So listen, man, we got a couple of news and note items, man, and one of them is coaches most likely, 24/7 Sports put this out, coaches most likely to win a national championship, and they put 5 out there, and here's the list right here. It has Ohio State's coach first, Ryan Day. Ohio State coach first, then it has Lincoln Riley, USC, then it has Brian Kelly, then it has LSU, Mario Cristobal, Miami, and then has Jim Harbaugh, Michigan. You guys tell me in the comment section what you think. Are you guys surprised that they put our coach up there so high, or what do you guys think? I feel like it's right on point. I feel like we right there with Ohio State. I think USC Lincoln Riley, he has literally positioned himself through the transfer portal, positioned himself with the guys that we got, the quality players we got, and we're now able to make a run. I believe that. I believe that with all my heart. You guys hit me in the comment section. You tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe. USCJ32 on Instagram, USCJ32 on Twitter. Now, I've seen another list, top 50 D coordinators. I'm not going through all these guys, but I just want to see where they have USC position, Alex Grinch, where they have a position as it relates to our defense. Because you hear a lot of people, they're making negative comments about Alex Grinch, but here it is. These are the top 50, supposedly, according to this list, defensive coordinator. One, they got Jim Leonard, Wisconsin. I'm just going to kind of skip through them, just some teams that you guys are familiar with. Jim Leonard, Wisconsin, they got them number 1. Number 2, they got Phil Parker, Iowa. They have him number 2. And then skipping down, number 19, they have USC, Alex Grinch, as the 19th best defensive coordinator. Then number 21, they have Texas A&M, DJ Durkin, number 21. That's Texas A&M. They're under Alex Grinch. Then number 28, just skipping, they have Pete Golden, Alabama, as the 28th best defensive coordinator. Then they have number 11, Will Muschamp, Georgia. So they have Georgia, Will Muschamp at number 11 as the best defensive coordinator. 36, they have Clemson, Wes Goodwin, the 36th best defensive coordinator. Does that surprise you guys? I mean, what do you guys think? Does that surprise you that Alex Grinch? I mean, I've told you guys that he was pretty good at Washington State, using more athletic defense, and I think he's going to utilize our players. Our players fit his style of play. Him in the Pac-12, his defensive scheme 3-3-5. That's going to translate well to the Pac-12. You guys hit me in the comment section. You tell me what you think. Do you think he's the 19th rate? They got to rank higher than Alabama defensive coordinator. You guys hit me in the comment section. You guys tell me what you think. Now, we got to get to the real matter at hand here. The real matter at hand is here now. It's right here. I had to do some research, and then 24/7 Sports, they came up with this list, the top 5 receiving groups in the country. Top 5 receiving groups in the country, and as expected, they have some big time programs here. And but number 1, they got Ohio State. Number 2, they got USC. Number 3, they got Maryland. Number 4, they have Bama. Number 5, they have Texas. Now, why does USCJ feel like this list is not legit? Because I feel like this. I feel like if they're going to go off a list, they're going to have to come with the numbers, right? They're going to have to come with the numbers. They're going to have to come with the offensive production. Wherever these receivers were at, whether it be transfer portal guys, because that Louisville lost one of their best receivers. He's now at Alabama, so I know that they put some of that in there. Of course, Texas, they got an Alabama receiver. So I know that they put some of that in there, some of his production in there. So all these teams, and even including us, they're going to put our production in there, right? So if they put our production in there, our production should be the number one production. And we're going to go through some of the numbers. I'm only going to go through the number one and number two, which is Ohio State. Number one, as far as they say production, and then number two, which is USC. So we're going to go through this real quick. And you guys hit me in the comment section. You tell me what you think. So that led me to go over to this list. Go over to this article rather. This article is coming from Ohio State. This column, Ohio State, SB Nation from Ohio State. And here's the article. It reads this. It says this. It says, should Ohio State pursue transfer wide receiver Jordan Addison? This was in May 19th, 2022. This article is from May 19th, 2022. And so this article says, should Ohio State pursue Jordan Addison? And so the article is basically saying Ohio State doesn't have enough firepower to really be able to match up with the other receiving groups. And so they were asking the question, should they pursue Jordan Addison? And so here's the article right here. It says Brian Hartline has recruited the wide receiver position better than anyone in the country, giving Ohio State plenty of potential options to replace 2 first-rounders in Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson. It says, with the recruiting rankings aside, the receiver room next to Jackson Smith Njigba, who had 95 receptions, 1,606 yards, 9 touchdowns, is not a proven commodity. Despite the high recruiting rankings, most of the other receivers are relative unknown. Now, if this article is saying this in May 19th, and they're suggesting that they should pursue Jordan Addison, this will give us clear evidence that USC J, once again, is on the case. Clear evidence that the court finds, 24/7 Sports, once again, guilty. The court finds 24/7 Sports, once again, guilty of fraudulent behavior, because we're going to go through the numbers. Now, here's the numbers. They have a chart up here. They have a chart up here that says Ohio State versus Jordan Addison. And so they got the numbers here. It has Julian Fleming, 19 receptions, 160 yards, right? They have Marvin Harrison Jr., 11 for 139. They have Jaden Billard, 1 for 4 yards. Then they have Jordan Addison, 160 for 22.59. And I guess that's within his past 2 years. But the receiving yards don't match up. So I added Ohio State's receiving yards, and then they had Egba 9 yards for 191 yards. But I added Ohio State's yards and I added USC yards up, and I wanted to combine those. I wanted to see, where we were at as far as production. All of our receivers that came, the production-wise, I wanted to add those up. So I added Ohio State's up, and it came up to 2,100 yards. They're the number one team, right? Their numbers came up to 2,100 yards returning production for Ohio State. Now, when you look at USC, let's look at USC yards. Brandon Rice, he was at Colorado. He had 299 yards. Kyle Ford last year, 2021 season, had 252 yards. Gary Bryant Jr. had 579 yards returning production. Mario Williams had 380 yards when he was at Oklahoma. He's now here. Jordan Addison had 1,593 yards. Total yardage is going to be 3,103 yards compared to 2,100 yards for the Ohio State University. You guys hit me in the comment section. You tell me what you think. Is this fraudulent behavior? Did they just put Ohio State up there just because it's the Ohio State? And the USC Trojans should be number one as far as the returning receiving corps. So let me read this again. They got Ohio State number one with 2,100 yards. And we got USC number two with 3,103 yards. We got Maryland 3. We got Alabama 4 and Texas 5. You guys hit me in the comment section. You tell me what you think, man. This was kind of a alarming number. USC J has found the court. The court has found them guilty of fraudulent behavior. You know what? Those numbers are not correct. Those numbers, according to them, well, they didn't even put their numbers out. They just put the number one. They just judged them, I guess, based upon what they felt was returning, but not realizing. And that's just some of the production. I didn't even go through these other numbers. Let's look at some of these numbers as far, not the numbers, but let's look at the receivers. You got Brandon Rice coming back. You got Kyle Ford coming back. You got Gary Bryant Jr. coming back. You got John Jackson coming back. You got Michael Jackson III coming back. And he's kind of, Michael Jackson, Lord forgive me, I haven't even been talking about Michael Jackson the third, but that guy got so much potential until it's ridiculous. And him and John Jackson both, and they really hadn't just got a lot of shine themselves. Mario Williams is coming back. Jordan Addison is coming back. Kyron Ware-Hudson is coming back. Terrell Bynum, Lord forgive me, I didn't even look up Terrell Bynum's numbers. That's going to be another, that's going to be, I'm just going to say he had I'll put it at 400 but I know he has more there. So it could possibly be 3,400 yards. It can possibly be 3,800 yards because I didn't even get Terrell Bynum. And then you got Taj Washington. I didn't even put his yards on there. Then you got CJ Williams. So you see, we got all these receivers. We got all this production compared to 2,100 yards. And the 2,100 is an actual fact because I'm looking here on the chart. It says Ohio State versus Jordan Addison. And so they got the yards here for them, and then they got the yards here for Jordan Addison. And so, you know, and the article read, once again, the article is here. It says, should Ohio State pursue transfer receiver Jordan Addison? You guys hit me in the comment section. Is this an alarming stat to you? Is this alarming to you? USC has, the conclusion to the matter is this. USC has the best receiving class in the country. They have the best receiving room in the country. You guys hit me in the comment section. You tell me what you think. USC J once again is on the case. Fight on, fight on, fight on.